Most Americans make one of the most expensive retirement decisions of their lives without realizing it. At some point after turning 60, the question appears almost casually. Should I claim Social Security now or wait? It sounds simple. It feels harmless. And that's exactly why so many people get it wrong. If you want clear, honest explanations about retirement and Social Security, subscribe to the channel now. Like this video if you've ever been told that claiming Social Security is an easy decision. Comment below with the age you're considering claiming Social Security. For most people, this decision is framed in the wrong way from the very beginning. Friends say, take it as soon as you can. Others argue, wait as long as possible for the bigger check. Even online advice often reduces the entire choice to a simple age comparison. But Social Security claiming is not an age decision. It's an income decision. The reason this choice feels simple is because it's usually presented as a trade-off between now versus later. What's rarely explained is what happens in between and what happens over decades of retirement. Claiming Social Security early permanently reduces your monthly benefit. Waiting increases it. That part is widely known. What's not explained is how this decision interacts with your retirement savings, your investment withdrawals, market conditions, taxes, inflation, and how long your retirement may actually last. When people hear guaranteed income, they relax. Social Security feels safe compared to investments. That feeling of safety often pushes people to claim early, especially if markets are volatile or retirement feels uncertain. Ironically, that sense of safety can increase financial risk. Claiming early may reduce income for life, forcing retirees to rely more heavily on their investment portfolios later. Waiting too long without a plan may do the opposite, draining savings while hoping for a bigger check in the future. In both cases, the mistake isn't the age itself. It's making the decision in isolation. Another reason this feels simple is because the consequences aren't immediate. No alarm goes off, no warning appears. The impact unfolds slowly year after year as reduced income compounds over time. This is why so many retirees say, I wish someone had explained this earlier. Social Security claiming is one of the few retirement decisions that is permanent, difficult to reverse, and directly tied to lifetime income. Yet it's often treated as paperwork instead of strategy. The truth is uncomfortable but important. There is no universally right age to claim Social Security. What works for one retiree can quietly harm another. The simplicity of the question hides the complexity of the outcome. And until you understand why this decision only appears simple, it's easy to make a choice that feels right today, but creates financial pressure for decades to come. Claiming Social Security early often feels like a safe, practical decision. The check arrives sooner, income becomes predictable, and uncertainty feels reduced. What many people don't fully grasp is that the cost of claiming early doesn't show up all at once. It accumulates quietly over time. When you claim Social Security before your full retirement age, your monthly benefit is permanently reduced. This reduction isn't temporary, and it doesn't disappear once you reach full retirement age. It lasts for the rest of your life. At first, the difference may seem manageable. The monthly check is smaller, but it still feels helpful. Over years and decades, however, that smaller amount compounds into a significant income gap. For retirees who live into their late 80s or 90s, the total lost income can easily reach tens of thousands of dollars. The financial impact goes beyond Social Security itself. A reduced guaranteed income often forces retirees to rely more heavily on their investment portfolios. During market downturns, this added pressure can accelerate portfolio withdrawals at the worst possible time, increasing sequence of returns risk and reducing long-term portfolio durability. Another overlooked cost is inflation. While Social Security benefits receive cost of living adjustments, starting from a lower base means those increases apply to a smaller amount. Over time, inflation amplifies the gap between early and delayed claiming, further weakening purchasing power. Early claiming can also limit flexibility later in retirement. Unexpected healthcare costs, changes in living expenses, or economic shifts become harder to manage when guaranteed income is lower. What once felt like a cautious decision becomes a constraint. The challenge is that early claiming often feels safe because it reduces short-term uncertainty. In reality, it may be increasing long-term financial risk by locking in lower income for life. For some retirees, claiming early may still make sense, but only when it's part of a broader retirement income strategy. Without that context, many people underestimate just how expensive taking it now can become. The true cost of claiming early isn't visible on the first check. It reveals itself slowly as retirement stretches longer than expected and income needs grow over time. After learning about the permanent cost of claiming Social Security early, many people jump to the opposite conclusion. Then I should wait as long as possible. On the surface, that logic seems sound. Delaying increases your monthly benefit, strengthens guaranteed income, and appears to reduce long-term risk. But waiting by itself is not a strategy. The hidden risk of delaying Social Security is what happens while you wait. During those years, retirees still need income. If Social Security is postponed without a coordinated plan, the gap is usually filled by increased withdrawals from retirement savings. That's where the problem begins. Relying heavily on investments while waiting for a larger Social Security check exposes retirees to market volatility at a critical time. Early retirement years are especially sensitive. Withdrawals combined with poor market performance can permanently damage a portfolio, even if markets recover later. This creates a dangerous trade-off. Higher guaranteed income later at the cost of weakened investment assets now. Taxes further complicate the picture. Large withdrawals from tax-deferred accounts to bridge the gap can push retirees into higher tax brackets, increasing lifetime tax costs and reducing net income. What looks like patience on paper can quietly become an expensive waiting period. Another issue is uncertainty. Waiting assumes good health, stable expenses, and favorable market conditions. Real life rarely cooperates. Health changes, caregiving needs, or unexpected costs can force retirees to claim Social Security earlier than planned. After years of draining savings unnecessarily, in those cases, retirees experience the worst of both worlds: reduced portfolios and benefits that aren't as high as expected. This is why the advice to always wait can be just as misleading as the advice to take it early. Both ignore the system as a whole. Social Security claiming decisions should not be isolated from investment strategy, tax planning, and spending needs. Waiting works best when portfolios are structured to support withdrawals efficiently, risk is managed intentionally, and income sources are coordinated over time. Without that coordination, delaying can shift risk rather than reduce it. The uncomfortable truth is this: waiting increases benefits, but it also increases exposure. And unless that exposure is managed, the financial advantage of waiting can disappear or even reverse long before retirement is over. Most Social Security advice is built around clean assumptions: stable markets, predictable expenses, good health, a retirement that unfolds exactly as planned. Real life rarely works that way. When people are told to claim early or wait for the bigger check, the advice often ignores the risks that actually define retirement outcomes. These risks don't show up neatly in calculators, but they shape income decisions every year. Inflation is one of the most underestimated forces. Even modest inflation steadily erodes purchasing power over long retirements, while Social Security includes cost of living adjustments. Those increases are applied to your starting benefit. A lower starting amount means inflation protection that never fully catches up. Health is another blind spot. Medical expenses don't increase gradually. They arrive in waves. Changes in health insurance coverage or caregiving needs can quickly alter income requirements. Claiming decisions made without considering these possibilities often fail when flexibility is needed most. Market volatility is also frequently downplayed. Retirement portfolios do not grow in straight lines. Downturns happen, sometimes early in retirement, sometimes back to back. Advice that treats investment returns as smooth averages ignores how damaging withdrawals during volatile periods can be. Longevity adds another layer of uncertainty. Many retirees underestimate how long retirement may last. Living into your late 80s or 90s is no longer unusual. Decisions that look reasonable over 15 or 20 years may break down completely over 30 or more. Most advice focuses on maximizing one variable, monthly benefit size or claiming age, while ignoring how multiple risks interact: inflation, health, markets, and longevity don't operate independently. They compound. This is why so many retirees feel financially comfortable early on, only to experience increasing pressure later. The plan wasn't wrong on paper. It just wasn't built for reality. Social Security claiming decisions made without accounting for real-life risks often succeed in ideal scenarios and fail quietly everywhere else. Understanding these risks doesn't make the decision easier, but ignoring them makes the consequences much harder to manage. After 60, the biggest mistake retirees make is believing that Social Security claiming is an age decision. It isn't. Claiming early or waiting only makes sense when viewed as part of a retirement income system, not as an isolated choice. The goal is not to maximize one monthly check. The goal is to build income that is reliable, flexible, and sustainable for the rest of your life. When Social Security is treated as a standalone decision, problems emerge, claim early, and guaranteed income may be too low later, forcing higher portfolio withdrawals. Wait too long, and investment assets may be weakened while bridging the gap. In both cases, risk shifts instead of disappearing. A real income system coordinates multiple moving parts. Social Security timing, investment withdrawals, tax efficiency, spending needs, market conditions, longevity risk. When these elements work together, Social Security becomes a stabilizer, not a gamble. Guaranteed income reduces pressure on investments during market downturns. Investment assets provide flexibility when expenses change. Taxes are managed intentionally instead of reactively. This is the truth most advice never explains. The right claiming age depends on how the rest of your income is structured. Two retirees can claim at the same age and experience completely different outcomes. The difference isn't luck, it's strategy. Retirement income planning is about resilience. It's about making sure income still works when markets fall, expenses rise, or retirement lasts longer than expected. Age alone cannot solve those challenges. Early or late is the wrong question. The real question is whether your income system works under real-world conditions. When Social Security decisions are aligned with investments and spending, retirees gain confidence, not because they chose the perfect age, but because their income is built to adapt. That's the truth no one explains. If this breakdown helped you understand Social Security and retirement decisions more clearly, subscribe to the channel for weekly videos focused on retirement income, Social Security strategies, and financial planning after 60. Like this video to support educational retirement content that goes beyond surface-level advice, and comment below. Are you planning to claim Social Security early, wait, or are you still undecided? The best retirement decisions don't come from rules or ages. They come from understanding how income actually works over time. One of the most revealing patterns in retirement is not what people choose, it's what they regret years later. Very few retirees say, "I regret thinking carefully about my Social Security decision." Many say, "I didn't understand the long-term impact when I decided." The odd reason regret appears later is simple. The consequences of claiming decisions unfold slowly. In the early years of retirement, income often feels adequate, expenses are manageable, portfolios still look healthy. The decision seems validated. Then time does its work. As retirement stretches on, monthly income gaps become more noticeable. Inflation increases everyday costs. Healthcare expenses rise. Market downturns place stress on investment withdrawals. That's when retirees begin to see the real cost of earlier decisions. Those who claimed early often realize that their guaranteed income no longer covers core expenses, forcing larger withdrawals from savings at precisely the wrong time. Those who delayed without a coordinated plan sometimes regret how much of their portfolio they consumed while waiting. The common thread is not the age they chose. It's that the decision was made without understanding how retirement income behaves over decades. Another source of regret is rigidity. Once a claiming decision is locked in, flexibility disappears. Adjustments that would have helped earlier are no longer available. What once felt like a small trade-off becomes a permanent limitation. This is why so many retirees say they wish they had been shown the full picture, not just the size of the check, but how it interacts with investments, taxes, inflation, and longevity. Regret doesn't come from choosing early or late. It comes from choosing without context. Understanding Social Security decisions as part of a broader income system doesn't eliminate uncertainty, but it dramatically reduces regret. If you want to avoid becoming one of the retirees who wish they had understood this sooner, subscribe to the channel for clear, practical videos about Social Security and retirement income after 60. Like this video if you believe retirement decisions should be based on long-term understanding, not short-term comfort, and comment below. What worries you most about Social Security? Claiming too early, waiting too long, or not knowing the right strategy? Better decisions today lead to fewer regrets tomorrow.